What's good, y'all? It's Drew here, back with another video. Alright, today, Shaman King, episode 2. We're gonna just talk about it. First things first, question of the day. Question of the day is, what was your favorite part of the episode? We're gonna do that for a minute because a lot of stuff hasn't happened yet, so it's not much for me to ask y'all, but let me know what your favorite part of it is. My favorite part definitely is seeing more about Yoh's past, right? Seeing his grandfather and talk about what he talks about, like the Shaman King. It gives us some of the backstory that we kind of needed before. Manta's walking in, he encounters this guy, and the guy basically says to send a message to the guy with the headphones, who we obviously know is Yoh. And flash forward a little bit, and he's telling Yoh, like, this guy, he's coming for you. And I don't know what it is, but you gotta remember his name. You gotta remember him, basically. And they're walking, and Yoh's like, Ren? Nah, I can't say I remember, bro. But the important thing that I didn't really touch upon as much as I should have last episode, that's brought up again, is that Yoh says that he's a shaman, so he's not bad, so he's not evil. Like, that's something that I didn't get to talk about. That I think it's very important that, you know, this is the second time it's brought up. Like, it's very clear that Yoh does not see shamans as evil. So if you're able to see ghosts, he thinks that no matter how evil you seem, there is something in you. Which is why he told, you know, the secret to Manta, and why he thinks this guy is not evil. But we see this Tao Ren guy, and we see what he can do. So he pulls up on a bunch of randos and drops him off quickly with ease, the greatest of ease. He pulls his guardian spirit, whose name is Bason, and is a Chinese warlord, so that's icy, obviously. And they do spirit unity. And the reason he did that was to cut the car, because the car was, you know, the guy was trying to escape, and he cut it. So something important about Tao Ren that I think I should touch upon is his fascination with, like, purity in that sense. Because when we first see him, he talks about how there are not that many stars out. And when Manta says, what do you mean? That's like the best place to see stars. He's like, bro, I thought you'd know what I'm talking about since you can see ghosts clearly. Like, those aren't real stars, basically what he said. But more on that a little bit later. Cool, so he brings it up again to the random people that they're not picking on him, but that basically. So what happened is Tao Ren kicked someone's car. He like broke the freaking headlight because he's on that kind of energy. And basically he's talking to them. He says they're vermin and that they're making the earth worse because they're polluting it, which is an interesting perspective that I didn't really, you know, that you don't really expect, right? So he says that y'all making everything worse, and it'll be a lot better when y'all not here. So obviously I told you he pulls up into spirit unity and cuts the car in half, and the guy is obviously on the ground, you know, almost about to die, and Tao Ren's like, all right, you guys, you humans, y'all, you be lasted, but I'm gonna kill you though. So he tries to kill him, and obviously who else is gonna say today but Yoh stops him and is like, bro, shaman don't kill. And this is where an interesting, I think, clash of ideals is at, because Tao Ren does not think, he doesn't believe that's true at all. Well, one thing that we find out right now is Tao Ren wants amidamaru. So that brings an interesting aspect, because I know some people in the comments were asking me, like, can you get one ghost, or how many ghosts? And that's a question you're gonna ask, right? Because you want to know, is it like Pokemon where you can kind of collect them all, or is it more like Digimon where you really just got one? And you can get, so the answer is you can get more than one ghost. The more ghosts you have, the stronger you have to be. And obviously another determining factor is the strength of the ghost. Tao Ren says it himself that amidamaru is a stronger class of ghost than bason. So that's a good, you know, that's a good information for us to have, because there's a hierarchy there. But he wants amidamaru, and again the ideals clash again, because Tao Ren doesn't see ghosts as you know, they're not people, they're ghosts. But he doesn't see ghosts as, he sees them as tools. And that's something that Yoh is not about, because just looking at even the small interactions we've seen with him, Yoh views ghosts as his friend. Like, he asked amidamaru to be his comrade, not his guardian ghost, not his like employee or something. So that's obviously really interesting. But Tao Ren's not feeling that. So he's like, so we learned something really important that he told, because we get a lot of good, I think, exposition in this episode. One thing Tao Ren tells us is that if you are a shaman and you have a ghost, when that shaman is killed, then the ghost, it'll wander, right? A ghost that doesn't have a guardian anymore, that is not bound by a shaman, is easier, let me not say very easy, it's easier to tame by a trained shaman. So Tao Ren's plan is simple: kill Yoh, take Amidamaru, and we go home. Maybe get some drinks. I don't know what he's going to do, but that's the plan. Obviously, we're not planning on that going that way. So they start fighting, and you know it seems to be they're decently equal. I'd say that it's about give or take, right? Until Tao Ren uses an ability we hadn't seen before, which is basically they say 100% integration, but it's 100% spirit unity. So this is great because this helps explain spirit unity, you know, to the new fan stuff. So spirit unity works this way, right? If you've seen the episode 1, right? Yoh takes Amidamaru, puts it in his body, spirit unity. The way that works is you think of it like what? Normally people have one soul, right? And control them, all that stuff. When you do spirit unity, it becomes 2 souls. So it's Amidamaru and Yoh in one body, right? But you gotta think of it like, if you ever watch Ben 10, kind of like Alien X. Because it's 2 subconsciouses and they have to decide to do something, there's always gonna be a delay there. So Yoh and Amidamaru, they're like, let's dodge. They have to, all right, let's dodge. Okay, now we're gonna agree to dodge and do it like that. And it's still gonna be really good. But there is definitely a delay there, and because of that, you're not operating at peak efficiency. And Tao Ren states that, and he says the only way to operate at peak efficiency or to be at 100%, so 100% spirit unity, is for either the host to be in control or the ghost to be in control. We spit around here, obviously. But we know how Tao Ren is. Well, from the small interactions we got, Tao Ren's he doesn't view ghosts as his friends. He views them as tools, and he murks Yoh. Like he would have cut his arm off. I think Yoh says it. He would have cut bro's arm off if Amidamaru didn't move out the way. Again, there goes to that delay. And obviously all hope seems to be lost, but Yoh and Amidamaru, they figure out a loophole in a way. Because Yoh's not the type of person to be super submissive over someone like that, right? Yoh's not ever gonna Yoh's not ever gonna be the kind of guy where it's like, all right, Amidamaru, I'm taking control. This is me. I'm doing this. He's not gonna do that. But what Tao Ren failed to realize is that it's not necessarily that you have to impose your will over the person. It's not necessarily that. It's more along the lines of, if you guys are both operating under the same thoughts, like simultaneously, there's no delay. And Yoh and Amidamaru were like, we are trying to beat Tao Ren. So because of that, they were able to do 100% spirit unity. And they have one final clash and they both lose consciousness. Well, I know Yoh loses consciousness, but Tao Ren probably did too. So we get some more disposition, or we get some more background. We see a young Yoh, maybe like 7, 8 years old, something like that. And we know who is his grandfather, who's the head of the Asakura clan. And he gives us some more information. He talks about the King of Spirits, which is known as basically the god of the verse, right? Where the King of the Spirits can pretty much do anything. And the only people who can see or meet the King of the Spirits is the one who fuses with him. And the one who is known as a savior throughout legends and throughout history, and that is the Shaman King. So you see, it's all coming back. It's all coming together now. So the Shaman King, as we know that the Shaman King is something that Yoh's trying to be. We know that the Shaman King is something that Tao Ren's trying to be. But now we get a little bit more information that the Shaman King is the person that's going to be basically fused with the King of Spirits, like the god. And that if you didn't know what that means that the Shaman King is pretty much all powerful. So why you can expect more heavy hitters to be coming after that title, which means Yoh will have to fight more people. But we get that information, and Yoh at first he's not enamored. He doesn't want to be a shaman. He's like, that's kind of boring. And he's like, what do you want to do? And Yoh's like, I want to just listen to music. So he's just, Yoh's a vibe. That's why I told you, Yoh's a vibe. But after hearing about the King of Spirits and how powerful he is and how cool he is, Yoh now wants to be shaman. So it might be a little bit of a immature goal, but I mean, he's a shonen MC. It's not crazy. So Yoh wants to be the king. Yoh wants to be the Shaman King, and obviously fuse with the King of Spirits, so that he can. It's basically kind of like, it's not. I'm not gonna say it's like Luffy's goal, but it's similar in the fact that once you're the King of the Spirits, once you fuse with the King of the Spirits, no one's gonna be telling you what to do. You can really do what you want, and no one's gonna test you. Like I say it all the time, if no one's gonna check you, you can really do what you want, and that's what Yoh kind of wants. So at the beginning of the flashback, we saw Yoh trying to summon a spirit, the Earth Spirit, and we get some information that we see Yoh's granddad or Yoh's grandfather summon the leaf spirits, and we found out that that's basically a passed down technique that most Asakuras should know. Like that's something that's basically a basic low level technique, and Yoh at that time didn't know. He's like 7 or 8. We see that it's Yoh, Manta, and amidamaru in the hospital bed. Obviously, they were worried about him. We don't know how long he was out, but we can assume it was probably at least a couple hours. But just as that happens, we get introduced to a very interesting character. Very interesting character. She says her name is Anna, and she's an itako, which y'all forgive me for the pronunciation. I'm not great at it. Again, I'm a 4 kids kid, meaning that's funny. I'm a 4 kids kid, but I'm a 4 kids kid, meaning I remember the English dub, the English translations. So I'm low key learning these names on the go. But she's an itako. As of right now, we don't know what that is. But the more important thing, the more important revelation she drops is she's Yoh's soon-to-be fiance, and that's interesting. But obviously, Manta's like, bro, who are you? Like, you in the wrong room or something? And he gets hit with probably one of the most powerful attacks in the verse. And I'm not talking about Shaman King verse. I'm talking about the anime verse. And so he gets hit with a he gets hit with a right hand slap. It's nothing crazy, but obviously as we get further into the show, we will obviously learn a lot more. Main takeaways. Again, I think this is a lot faster. I have to look, just off of looking like at the wiki and stuff. I'm pretty sure Anna was introduced in episode 5, so we're in episode 2. So again, it's a lot quicker. I've heard some people have problems with it. They're saying that it's going a little too quickly for them. Me personally, knowing how the world is now and the attention spans and stuff, I think this is good. It can be good, but it can also be bad. Obviously, they're going a lot quicker. They're skipping some stuff that I think would be, I wouldn't say filler, but that doesn't necessarily need to be tackled on. They're definitely like paraphrasing a lot of stuff. I just hope they don't get skimpy on the stuff that matters. Like there are some introductions, I'm not gonna say no names, some people I want to meet or some things I want to happen. I don't want them to skip through it. Like if they're skipping through on the intro stuff, like the kind of extra stuff, that's fine. But when we get further on, there's some stuff that we just gotta flesh out, especially when like the anime and the manga diverged. That's like the most important. That's the stuff that we need to get some information. But episode 2. I give it like a 9 out of 10. I can't give 10 out of 10s every time because like, bro, some things not 10 out of 10. That's just factual. But there's not a lot of crazy action. Obviously, we're still in the beginnings of understanding things. We just learned more information about spirit unity. We didn't know. We knew what it was, but now we're understanding how it really works. We learned a little bit more about the Shaman King, which is the name of the show. So we kind of need to know that. Overall, I really like this episode though. But let me know what your thoughts about the chapter, episode 2 overall are. But I'm out, so peace.